Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today, we are going to discuss a new topic, and it will be quite interesting for all of you. And I'm very much happy to discuss this topic with you all. So, today's topic is conflicts. We all know that what is conflict. There are different types of conflicts. It happens in everyday, for within an individual, within the family members, within the other members, also. So today we are going to discuss about conflicts. It might be between the two individual, or it might be between more than two individual, between two teams, within the own self. So there are different types of conflicts also. So we will discuss about what is conflict and its main type. So in today discussion, we are going to discuss about introduction of conflicts, definitions of the conflicts, characteristics of the conflicts, what are different characteristics which should be considered in discussion about conflicts, source of the conflicts and types of conflicts, and lastly, how to manage the conflict, that is conflict management and the summarization. So let's proceed with the next slide. So in introduction, conflict are defined as situation in which two or more parties perceive that their goals or interests are in direct contraindication with one another. Easily, conflict means that I have a problem with another individual, or I have a problem with another group of people, or I have a problem within myself. So, conflict is defined as a situation. It is defined as a conditions in which two or more parties, either it may be between the two or it may be more than two or more parties perceive, they think that their goals, their own motives, their interests are in direct contraindication, that is in opposite. Whether I like eating in the early morning breakfast like bread and butter, but some other individual would like to have only tea in the breakfast. So it might be a kind of conflict. So their goals or interests are in direct contraindication with one another and decide to act on the basis of this perception. This is known as conflict. It also has a qualitative nature. Okay, a person may be totally overwhelmed in one conflict situation, yet be able to handle several simultaneous conflict at a larger time. It doesn't mean that whenever a conflict appear, it doesn't mean that I must be always stick on to that particular conflict. I may be or may not be. Some person may be able to handle some other conflicts at the present time and may take some time to handle the conflicts. Okay, so or other in other terms, that whenever I am having a conflict, I may be experiencing another conflict also simultaneously at the same time. So at that point, I must be able to handle a conflict next by next in a consecutive way. So conflict also have a qualitative nature. Clear? Okay, next we'll go to the definition of the conflict. According to Barney and Lehner, defines conflict is a state of tension brought by the presence in the individual of two or more opposing desire. When there is two or more individual with opposing desire, with contraindicated views, contraindicated interests, contraindicated goals, there appears a state of tension that is called conflict. Okay. Conflict may be also defined in two more ways, that is intrapersonal, that is, and the second one is the interpersonal. In intrapersonal is a process when one's motive or goal, that is my motive or goal, starts to be incompatible, that is inadjustable, in acceptable with or in disharmony with another motive or goal. For example, I want to study at late night, but my roommate or my family member force me to study in the morning. So there will be automatically conflict between my interest of studying at night, late night, and my family members, which are motivating me to study in the early morning. So there is a intrapersonal conflict. Okay, intrapersonal means conflict between two different individuals or two different teams of people. Okay, next conflict is at interpersonal level, a process that begins when one person perceives that another has negatively affected or is about to negatively affect something that he or she desires. Okay, in intrapersonal, there will be disharmony or incompatible between the two goals. That is called intrapersonal. But in interpersonal, a person will try to feel that. The person will try to experience, perceive that my motive or my desire is going to get affected, negatively affected by another person desire or motives. Okay. Similarly, in this picture, you can clearly see that a person, another person says that I'm right. I'm right with my own opinion. I'm correct with my own desire, own goals, own interest, own thought. Whereas the other person also thought that mine is also good and correct. Okay, so in this condition, a conflict will automatically arise between these two individuals. So simply a conflict is defined as a state of tension, a state of differentiation, or when two individual or a two team have two or more opposing desires. Clear with this? Okay. So next we'll proceed to the characteristics of the conflict. What conflict usually appears for? The first one is the conflict is a universal process. It doesn't mean that no individual will experience no conflicts in the lifetime. Every individual in every steps, in every moment, in every day, or maybe in some form may experience some type of conflict, whether it might be in intrapersonal or it might be in the interpersonal. So it is a universal process that conflict will automatically arise. It may arise between a daughter and a father, between a husband and wife, between the siblings. So it is a universal process. Second characteristic is it is personal and direct. It doesn't mean that it must be, the conflict must be that I'm in participating with the conflict for my friend also, for my family or member also. Usually conflict is usually personal. It's mine and direct. It is direct from my internal influence. Okay. The third characteristic is that directed to dominate others or to eliminate the opponent. I will give you an example. For example, a student who does not want to go to school on Saturday because tomorrow is Sunday and today is Saturday, and he want to enjoy two consecutive days of uh, holidays. So the student doesn't want to go to school by Saturday. But here the family members scold the student that you have to go to school, you have to study hard. All those things are influencing the student, the child to go to school. However, here what happened, the child also want to dominate that I will not go to school today. Okay, and here the family member will also try to dominate that you must go to school by today only. Okay, so here both the teams or both the individuals are trying to dominate one another, that I'm superior to you, my thought, my interest, my decision is much superior to you, and I must dominate with my own decision. Okay, so the conflict is a kind of a dominating others or to eliminate the opponent. The fourth characteristic is temporary and intermittent in character. It doesn't last for a lifelong process. Sometimes it may last for lifelong process, but however, simply conflicts are usually temporary, but that is, it lasts for some short period of time and intermittent in character. Okay. And the fifth characteristic is impulsiveness of human emotions and violent patience. Sometimes the conflict are so much strong and so much aggressive in nature that it becomes impulsive of human emotions. The human emotions and violent patience, that is sometimes violent behavior, aggressive and impulsive behavior starts to show within the two conflicting individual or conflicting team. So conflict also sometimes brought up a violent aggression or violent activities. Okay, and the last characteristic is that termination of conflict is not so easy. It requires some certain point where both the team or both the opponent must be compromising, or one must be avoid, or there might be some competing between both the teams, so that a final decision is made between the two conflicting individuals. Clear? So in characteristics, the first one is the universal process. Conflict is one of the universal process, and we cannot ignore with this. It might be personal and direct, directed to dominate others or to eliminate the opponent. Fourth one is temporary and intermittent in character. Fifth one is impulsiveness of human emotions and violent passion. And the Fifth one, the last one is sixth one. The last one is termination of conflict is not much easy. Clear with the characteristics? So next we'll proceed to the source of conflict. Conflict might be in different ways. It might be from the school environment, it might be from the home environment, it might be from the neighbor's environment. It differs in different way. But here I want to explain in simple 5 points that how conflict are being initiated within an individual or a group of individuals. The first point is personal differences. As we know that if there is difference in views, opinions, interests, and goals, automatically there will arise a conflict between the individual. Clear? Second point is environmental conflicts. That is, for example, it usually happened in the family, because family there are different types of individuals. One like to sleep early, one like to sleep late. Some people like to wake up late in the morning, that is 9 a.m. Some people like to wake up early in the 4 5 a.m. and do their all the household work. So environmental conflict is one of the source to initiate a conflict. Next, third point is conflicting goals. That I have my own goals, do you have your own goal? So if the goal are not matching, if your goal are in opposing way, automatically conflict will arise. The fourth point is lack of information. When I'm providing you some information, if my information is not properly communicated towards you, then it might lead to conflict also. And the fifth one is personal conflicts. Okay, personal conflicts means that I'm for example, there is a husband and a wife. The husband want the wife that she must do household work after working back from home, but the wife want that the husband also help her in doing her household work. So personal conflict automatically arises. And the next point is the communication issues. Whenever I provide you certain informations, if I am providing you in written form and you are not much educated with the knowledge and skills and the information that I am providing you, then automatically conflict will arise. For example, I am telling you that I will be organizing a meeting on 5 p.m. in the evening. But when there is communication issues, when somebody informs you that 5 a.m., then automatically there will be communication issues. Then the conflict will arise between the organizer and the employee. Okay. And the last source of conflict is role incompatibility. When we provide us a particular role assign a particular role to a particular individual, the individual must be well competent with that particular responsibility. If the individual doesn't know how to handle such things, then how could the uh, work will progress? Then automatically there will be conflict. And sometimes it happens within an organization that uh, the manager will provide you some sort of work, and I'm expecting that work to be given to me. So there will be role incompatibility. So conflict will arise between the two employees. Okay, clear with the source of conflict? First one is personal difference. Second one is the environmental conflicts. Third one, conflicting goals. Next is lack of information. Fifth one is the personal conflict, communication issues, and the last one is the role incompatibility. So these are the sixth point. These are some of the point of source of conflict. Okay. Next, we'll proceed to the types of conflict. There are different types of conflict. It might be interpersonal, intrapersonal, within the organization, within the environmental. But here I am describing only 4 main types of conflict. So the first type is approach conflict. Second one is avoidance conflict. Third one is approach avoidance conflict. And the fourth is multiple approach avoidance conflict. So basically there are 4 types of conflict: approach, avoidance conflict, approach avoidance conflict, and the fourth and the last one is multiple approach avoidance conflict. So we'll discuss one by one. The first one is the approach conflict. This arises when an individual is faced with the problem of making a choice between 2 or more positive goals, almost equally motivating and important. Here what happened, I have been facing 2 or more goals which are much positive and equally motivating me, and I have to choose one out of those 2. So this problem on that moment, I will be in conflict whether I have to choose the first one or I have to choose the second one, because both are positively motivating and it is much benefit to me only. Okay, for example, a child may have to choose between watching a movie in TV, that I have whether to watch TV or go out to play games. Both are type of a positive goals for recreation, but the child have to choose whether I have to go and play outside or whether I have to watch a movie in TV. So this type of conflict is known as the approach conflict. Okay, next is avoidance conflict. In approach, the goal will be positive and motivating. In avoidance, in this, an individual is forced to choose between two negative course of action. In approach, the goal was positive, both were positive, and but in avoidance conflict, there will be two or more negative course. For example, we'll discuss two example. A child who does not want to study and at the same time does not want to displease the parents by failing in the examination may experience such conflict, because that the feeling of a child that I don't want to study is one of the negative cause, and same time the child doesn't want to displease the parent is also a negative or decision. So both decision which is negative, and the child have to choose only one between those two negative cause, and at that time the conflict which arises within the child is called at avoidance conflict. Clear? In this type of conflict occurs when there are two undesirable situations. There will be two situations that I don't want to do but cannot avoid one, but I cannot avoid one without encountering the other. But because here that there will be two negative situation or undesirable situation, but I must not avoid another to avoid the other. So I will be in conflict whether which one to avoid, which one to accept. Okay, so this one is called avoidance conflict. Conflict whereby one must choose between two more or less equally undesirable or unattractive goals. Here we can look upon this diagram. First one is if I avoid this thing. Okay, if I avoid this thing, I will be facing frustration towards myself. Okay, and if I avoid that other thing, there will be conflict towards other. Similarly, if a child avoid study, there will frustration within the child, and if a child doesn't want to displease the parents, it is called conflict avoidance. Okay, so this is a type of second type of conflict, that is avoidance conflicts. The third type is approach avoidance conflict. In this, an individual is faced with a problem of choice between approaching and avoiding tendencies at the same time, because one will be positive and one will be negative. The conflict occurs when the person is both attracted, because both the choice will be attracting the person, and by the time is also repelled by the same object or the same situation. Here, it is very much difficult to resolve whether I have to choose this one or I have to repel this one, because both are equally attractive and both are equally repel. Okay, so the person is attracted to a goal that has both negative and positive value. Here in this diagram, first one, a person is running behind money, lots of money, because we know that with money I can buy everything, I can do everything. Money is everything, as you all know, and we are attracted. But on the other hand, when I have achieved this money, I have to pay tax, I have to give back from where I have given, I have to work hard to pay back those money from where I have taken. So these have both positive and negative values, and at this moment the person face some kind of conflict, and this conflict is known as approach avoidance conflict. Whether I have to approach this or whether I have to avoid it, because both the situation have negative as well as positive directions. Okay, and the last approach, conflict type of conflict is multiple approach avoidance conflict. The individual frequently is faced with having to choose between two or more goals, each of which has both attracting and repelling aspect. Clear? So since the tendency is to either approach or avoid each of the goal, this pattern is called double approach avoidance. Because we as an individual face almost in most of the time we have to choose between two or more goals, okay, which are both attracting and repelling. But in order to compromise all those things, we have to reach as a particular point where we could accept only one, and at that moment we have to we have some sort of conflict whether I have to do this thing or whether I have to do this thing. Okay, let us discuss with this example and we'll be more clear. Example, choosing a house in a country means fresh air. Whenever I'm planning to have a house in a country where there will be fresh air, there will be very big, large room to live, there will be peace and quiet. Okay, it also means that I have a phrase. I will be exposed to fresh air, large room to live, peace and quiet is one of the attracting and positive values. Okay, in contrast, it also means many hours of commuting to work in heavy traffic. I have to work uh, across heavy traffic. I have to work early morning. I have to rush behind the buses to reach the office on time, and long distance from city amenities and cultural activities. Okay, so this is a negative, repelling aspect. However, I have many positive aspects in one hand and many negative aspects in another hand. So I have to choose which one. At that time, multiple approach avoidant conflicts arise within myself. Okay, so we have know the four types of conflicts. Then one is approach avoidance, approach avoidance, and the last one is multiple approach avoidance conflict. So to handle these different types of conflict, we have to manage some sort of conflict, that how to manage the conflict, what are the conflict management. So we'll go through the conflict management. Okay, conflict management is the process by which dispute are resolved. Okay, the conflict will be resolved where negative results are minimized. It doesn't mean the negative result must be totally removed from that particular conflict. Here we can minimize the negative results and much motivate towards a positive result, and positive results are prioritized. Okay, with proper managing conflict, whenever we manage the conflict properly, it is able to minimize interpersonal issues. Okay, within two individuals there is a conflict, and if we properly manage the conflict, interpersonal issues will be minimized or will be deleted, enhance satisfaction within both individual, and produce better outcomes. Okay, so for maintaining the for managing the conflict, there are certain ways where we could manage the conflict, and we are going to discuss how to manage the conflict in four or five simple steps. Okay, next, how to manage conflict. Here in this picturization, I will show you how it's managing conflict affect both the uh, team or both the individual. Here it is assertiveness. Okay, assertiveness means accepting or presenting oneself, one opinion in a positive way, whether it might be a negative, it might be much prioritizing one. However, I have to express, I have to put upon my opinion in a positive and acceptable way. Okay, and in below we have cooperativeness. There are two factors, assertiveness and cooperativeness. Whenever cooperativeness, where there is low cooperativeness and where there is low assertiveness, we can manage the conflict in two ways. First one is avoiding. I will say that let it be, let the conflict be. I will work over it, I will think upon it, I will let you know by tomorrow. That is one of the avoiding. It is I am giving less cooperation, and I'm giving my satisfaction in a less way. Okay, first one is the avoiding. Second one, where there is high assertiveness, there is wherever I am trying to satisfy only my needs and I am less cooperating, it is called competing. Then I will say, okay, you have your own decision, you have your own opinion, I have my own opinion. Then let's compete. Let's have a competition, whether your is much prioritizing or mine wants. So here will be competing. Here the person would like to satisfy the one's needs more rather than cooperating to the other. Okay. The next conflict is that where there is high level of cooperativeness, that I would like to cooperate with you much more rather than satisfying my needs. That type of managing conflict is called accommodation. That the person will say that it would be my pleasure that if I will try your decision first and let mine will be discussed later on. Okay, this type of managing conflict is called accommodation. And next one is that high level of assertiveness, that I have to fulfill my needs at the highest level. And cooperation, that on the other hand, I must also cooperate with the individual, with the other members, other conflicting members. At that time, collaborating will be done. They will say that instead of fighting between us, instead of making conflicts within us, it's better that we discuss each other in a one way, so that my opinion will also be looked forward, your opinion will also be looked forward. It is a kind of win-win opinion. That is, you also put your own decision forward and will implement over it. I will also put my own decision and opinion upon it, and I will my also be implementing. This is called collaboration. Clear? First one, that is a weak and less prioritized mode of conflict management, is avoiding and competing. Second one is accommodation, and collaborating is the highest level of managing conflicts. And beside all these four, the best way is compromising. Compromising is negotiating, that mine will be little, I will be moved little backward, you also move little backward, and let's see which one is most positive, and the positive one will be given much values and the negative one will little prioritized. That's a kind of compromising. So we have discussed here the 5 main point where we could manage a conflict. First one is avoiding, second one is competing, third one is accommodating, and fourth one is collaborating, and the fifth one, which is acceptable to both the parties or both the team, will be compromising. Clear with this? So today in this summarization, before summarization, I will let you know in simple brief way. We have know about conflict. What is conflict? Why conflict emerges? How it is exists between two individual or between two group of members. That is definition of conflicts. We have discussed three, that according to intrapersonal conflict, interpersonal conflict. That is the definition of the conflict. In characteristic, we have discussed 6 points. That is universal process. It is very much personal and direct. Sometimes it might goes violent behavior, and it might be sometimes impulsive, and it is temporary, and sometimes it may be very much difficult to end up the conflict. Okay, then source. In source, we have discussed different types of source. First one is personal one, environmental, role incompatibility, that is a personal conflict, lack of communication poor skills, such different types of conflict. That the different type of source of conflict. And the last one we have discussed is type of conflict. In type of conflict, we have discussed about the 4 main type, that is approach conflict, approach avoidance conflict, and the last one is multiple or double approach avoidance conflict. Clear with this? And lastly, after discussing what are the conflicts, we have discussed about the conflict management, how conflict could be managed within an organization or within myself. First one, it was about the avoidance, competing, collaborating, compromising, and accommodation. Okay, this is a different types of conflict management. So I hope that all of you will be great and discussing about this today's topic about the conflict and conflict management, and hope that you all might have well known with today's discussion, and we will meet you in the next discussion. Thank you and have a nice day.